I'm going to welcome the first speaker for the proposition, and that's Caroline Spiegel. Caroline is the founder and CEO of Quinn, the app for audio erotica. Before dropping out to start Quinn, Caroline studied computer systems at Stanford and worked at Protocol Labs. Quinn is on a mission to elevate the romance genre and introduce immersive, ethical, erotic content into the mainstream. Caroline, you have the ears of the house.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you all tonight. It's so great to just see so many young, involved people ready to have a good conversation and hopefully disagree a little bit and really dig into this. So like you mentioned, Laura, my name is Caroline Spiegel. I run a tech startup. It's called Quinn, and it's an app for audio erotica. I guess I want to start my piece here by reading a quote from psychotherapist and author Esther Perel. Sex isn't just something we do. Sex is a place we go. In every culture and in every era, sex is the window through which you can look at the most archaic, rooted, deep values of a society. Its treatment of women, its treatment of children, its relationship to privilege, power dynamics, and to double standards. However, sex is also the window through which the most radical, progressive changes take place. So I basically just want to argue that sex is a medium, like music or painting, through which many different messages can be transmitted and expressed. In other words, sex work is compatible with feminism when it is feminist. So, to illustrate this, I want to talk about two very different forms of sex work and sex content online. It may sound like I'm talking from the other side of the podium at points, but that's part of the whole thing of it. So, okay. Number one, my first example is Pornhub. We've all been there in incognito mode. At the time I'm writing this, blonde teen destroyed on the couch, rough hard, is the second video in the most viewed videos in the United States section on Pornhub. This video actually stars a sexual predator named James Dean, who's accused of the rape of over 10 women. And to quote one accusation, James Dean held me down and fucked me while I said no, stop, and used my safe word. I just can't nod and smile when people bring him up anymore. Also featured in the most popular section on Pornhub is an account called Face Fucking. This is actually the profile for a premium website for facial abuse, which is the act of sexually humiliating your partner by abusing and degrading her face during rough oral sex and holding her head on your genitalia. So, and by the way, they call the account Face Fucking, but it's actually it links to facial abuse, but the word abuse would trigger the Pornhub moderation algorithm. They've found some super clever ways to get around it. The account has over 22 million views, and one of its most popular videos is actually titled Anti-Facial Abuse Feminist Face Fucking Session Goes Wild. So, wow, that's a lot, but that's the most popular mainstream porn site in the world. Now, I want to totally shift and talk about Quinn and our content, and this is not sponsored. Our iOS app has been around for about a year now, and it has been downloaded millions of times, and it makes millions of dollars every year. One of our trending audios this week is called Morning Feels, and it's voiced by a voice actor that goes by Anani Fun. The tags on the audio are boyfriend experience, oral, praise, and dirty talk. Some of the comments read, "Thank you. Due to some bad stuff in my life, I can't handle being physical. You allowed me to feel intimacy I haven't felt in a long time. Really, thank you." Another one reads, "Wait a freaking minute. This guy is sexy as fuck. He talks the perfect dirty talk. He whispers he's fun in bed, and he makes coffee and did the dishes." And And in case you think this type of content is only enjoyed by women, here's a comment from a male listener on a female voice actor's audio. "Holy shit, this was the hardest I've come in a long time." Why stop now, right? And he says, "OMG, thank you." So that's to illustrate to you that sex work is not all the same, just as sex is not all the same. Ask anyone who's ever had sex. Sex work in some contexts can be empowering and freeing, and in others can be degrading, terrifying, and dehumanizing. As a quick detour, I want to note that by empowering sex, I don't mean vanilla sex. Quinn does not only have vanilla, loving, boyfriend experience sex. We have audios with bondage, intense role play, dom-sub relationships, and the like. Kink, taboo, and play are an important part of good sex. However, tube site pornography uses kink as a guise. Any audio on Quinn that involves role play or kink has informative tags, framing of the scenario, and clear consent and communication. On Quinn, I don't know if, is there a time situation? I see it now. Okay. On Quinn, voice actors tell extremely erotic stories designed to make the listener orgasm. It is a sexual performance and fantasy, and voice actors perform alone from the comfort of their own home. On sites like Pornhub and YouPorn, however, 80% of content features violence against women, real violence that actually happened in real life. Lines are blurred between fantasy and reality, and physical qualities like being small or young-looking, being Asian, Black, or Latina are exploited and fetishized. Again, you might think I'm talking about another side, but I'm not. Pornography featuring non-consensual, abusive, or dehumanizing sex expands the reach and influence of these acts, normalizing them and reinforcing power imbalances in our society. But this is the important part. By the same token, pornography featuring ethical, empowering sex work disrupts the power imbalances in our society and expands the reach and influence of feminism. I do not agree with undiscriminating, superficial sex positivity. Feminists who believe that our sex lives and kinks should be free from criticism, never to be questioned or interrogated. I don't agree with that. The machinations of sex work, and pornography are political, and like Esther Perel said, reflect the values of our society. I believe that sex work and porn, like other mediums of expression, can be degrading to the feminist cause and also further the feminist cause. I know empowering sex work exists because I run a platform for it, and I also believe it is the future of erotic content online. So thank you all. That's it. I know it's a little short.